originally in English. Charistos are mostly 6D people. As I have said before, whatever is in higher density will have its mirrors and equivalents in all lower densities. They appear with wings because they like to be seen as angels. The concept of angel on earth partially comes from them. I know they are very peculiar in their beliefs. According to Karistus mythology, all Lyrian people, now all over the galaxy, are Charistus hybrids. That means you and I as well. They refer to this from a soul level, not just biology. And from their point of view, I think it can be or is perfectly valid. So they interpret what is going on Earth in a different way as how we see the problem. For them it is simpler. It is simply duality playing out there, and it is two groups of souls competing for Earth at all levels of existence. I underline it because they see that statement as very important. For them, it is a simple fight between Vlash people and hybrids, and Karistus people and hybrids. The Vlash, for them, holds all negative races, reptilian, grey or whatever, and the Charistos are the positive side. They call hybrids what we call starseeds, no less and the same. The Vlash invaded Earth, a Charistos world according to them, as this is their solar system, as they are quite arguably the most advanced race and culture of this entire solar system. So to them, Earth belongs to them. They argue that it is their property. The whole solar system was their turf until invaders came along. Why so much struggle for Earth? Aren't there enough planets out there? It's not about Earth itself. It's about who lives in it. And ultimately, because Earth's consciousness is indeed the result of all those consciousnesses in it. What about reptilians and all that being a human manifestation? Humans would be Charistos as well. Then reptilians and everything negative is a Charistos manifestation. For them, all Lyrian species are variants of Charistos or Charistos hybrids. About everything being the manifestation of a consciousness, and being that there is no negativity, only what a soul makes for itself manifests according to its thoughts. But wait a second. Apart from Lyrian races, there are thousands of others, non-Lyrians, Andromedans, Syrians, etc. Where did they come from to this solar system, and why don't they have the right to call themselves the owners? The Charistos feel they are the rightful owners because they have been for eons of time, and it's right on their doorstep. All the other races are just whatever, trespassing? Do all those other races agree with this view? What does the Federation say? I mean, the Federation was constructed to fight those invaders, so they were here too for eons. It was only after all the fights and the time-mat wars, And then, even more recently, when countless souls from countless races entered Earth as starseeds, hybrids to Karistus. Although I feel it has always been like that. I don't know what the Federation says about Karistus owning Earth. I doubt they validate that. Because as the Federation goes, or thinks, a place belongs to whoever lives in it. But owning Earth is a Karistus concept, not a Federation concept. So where do the Charistos stand regarding Federation's plans to step up the game level for humans and all? In what way do they intend to help? They don't like it, and they openly say so. And that's why they agree with us and back us up. Do you agree with their statement of ownership of the Earth? No, we do not. But they are positive creatures, so Earth would be in much better hands if they would be the ones taking care of it. But ownership like that does not go with us. I am not sure of what they want to do or doing about the problem. But they are backing us up. They are on our side. And on your side. They watch your videos and they respect you a lot, so I've been told. Okay, thank you, that's nice to hear. How many in numbers are they? Together with the Alphatans Centauri, they are the most numerous non-human species working here in favor of Earth. Karistus are not Federation. Originally in Spanish.
Charistos claim the Earth because it used to be theirs before the arrival of the Lyrians. I'm talking about 200,000 years ago. Another point is that Charistos see the Lyrians as them. That is to say that the Charistos, according to their history, legends, and beliefs, are the origin of the Lyrian race. Therefore, they see invasive what the Federation does, being so permissive with what happens on Earth. That is why the Charistos do not agree with the Federation. That is, for the Charistos, all races of human appearance in space are variants of them or are Charistos themselves. That means that humans are Charistos, Taigetans are Charistos, Svaronians are Charistos, Engans are Charistos, Antarians are Charistos, and Humits are Charistos. They have very protective ideas. They claim Earth, but not from an invasive angle, but to return Earth to the way it was with them. They dress like Andromedans, very much in long ornaments tunics. It's just that they have very long necks, almond eyes, light, almost white, but I think they also have dark eyes, very slow in paused movements. They cooperate when they want, but are perceived as someone outside as superior to the Federation. They are from 6D, but live in all Ds below 6. In themselves, they are the most advanced civilization and race in the solar system. They see themselves as great mentors. We disagree on some points, but we do not see the case for antagonizing them when it's not like they want Earth for themselves invasively. It is not their style. Rather, they say that if the Earth had remained under their control, none of what is happening now would have happened. And I know they have many starseeds on Earth.
Originally in English. More recent conversation.
we do have the Charistos quite close to us cordially. They are on our side and not on the Federation side of this mess. Taygeta and Charistos have cooperated throughout the years. And thanks to Charistos, we know that all those meetings in or near Jupiter people on Earth are talking about are false. The Charistos declared to her queen Alanim that those alleged Federation meetings are a lie, and that they would know about that, and that the Federation would never conduct such kind of meetings on Charistos soil. They also said that they know that certain exopolitics groups are false and under direct CIA control.
Why could it not be done on their soil?
Because Charistos and Federation have ruptured cooperation. They still talk, but the Charistos do not want anything to do with Federation law or Federation interaction due to bad handling of Earth problems, and because the Federation has been permissive towards races that are against Charistos interests, namely the Vlash and Mater that we call Kingo-reptilians and tall greys. Charistos have been helping since before Taygeta, perhaps. This problem with the Federation and with the regressive races on Earth, including hybrids, has been going on for thousands of years. Safe to say, Charistos is one of the most active races fighting in favor of humankind.
In what fashion are they active?
Mostly direct confrontation, like what Taygeta does not do a lot for any longer. I mean, Charistos does get close, dirty, and personal in a shootout, or a knife or sword fight against regressive agents or hybrids. But since Alanim came to power and guided by Svarunians, Taygeta has stopped fighting in that matter, or only with some localized skirmishes, not as in direct combat.
They do that in their human forms? Or you mean starseeds?
Both direct step-downs and starseeds and hybrids. Charistos is a very noble and well-intended race fighting for humankind. They suffer great loss of Charistos' life engaging in this war, because it is a war, and people should start to realize it is a war, or they will lessen their chances of survival. The problem is that they have been also under the boot and the law of the Federation that lays claim to Earth as under Federation space and control. So Charistos have been fighting legally in kind with Taygeta and Alcyone Council, and Council of Lyra and Avion, Ormus, for that matter as well.
Thank you. I have a bit different question. If they exist on higher than 5D level, I imagine they can't come in through immersion, or can they? They have immersion pods in their density?
This concept is broken, or was broken by Yazhi. We were saying that Charistos are 6 density beings. Well, according to Yazhi, no. They are at any level like any other race, and only depending on the spiritual and consciousness level of their inhabitants, but without placing them or any other race at any numerical density, as that is New Age. So Charistos are Charistos at whatever level they may be, and each one may be at.
Okay, I understand that, but for example then, if you travel to Jupiter, will you see their crystal buildings? Because Swaruu said she needed a special ship frequency adjustment to see them.
Yes, but you need a special frequency to go there anyway, and to Taygeta, and to Ephrata, and to Sindriel, and to Petoia. Also, They do have some kind of energy field protecting and hiding them, but that's not so high tech.
So what do you see when you look at Jupiter when you are close?
That's the problem. I've never been there. Tolika-class heavy cruisers like the ones I'm always on exit hyperspace between Mars and Earth, so I never get a chance to look at Jupiter close up.
Do Charistos regard as their own only Lyrian races? So not Andromedans, etc.?
No, not Andromedan, as those are another branch entirely. Charistos see and understand the genesis of the Lyrian race in a different way the Federation does, as in coming from the Great Expansion and all that. For Charistos, the genesis is more of a spiritual manifestation, and in that case, they would be more right than the official Federation Great Expansion story.
So all the other starseeds on Earth who are Syrian, grey starseeds, etc., would not be theirs.
They see those as variants or hybrids of their own, but only if coming from what we call a Lyrian race. So Syrians perhaps not, as they are more in kin with Andromedans and Arcturian races, as in aquatic and semi-amphibian.
Swaruu said Karistus are bioplasmatic energetic beings.
Yes, that's true, but many races do that when not incarnated, even humans, not just Charistos. And also, look at Yazhi. She can be viewed that way too. She claims she can manifest herself as a weasel. Charistos, the ones I know, have bodies like the rest of us. I mean, I've talked to them, and they look, well, Lyrian.
Maybe we are referring to different levels of Karistus.
Well, yes, exactly. But then that applies to any race, levels of existence, and of consciousness. I am describing them my way. So it may differ from how Swaruu 9 described them, but in the end, we're talking about the same beings.